Princess on the Pillow here. I am here to do a review slash recap with my opinion on 90 Day Fiance Before the 90 Days, Season 7, Episode 1. It's titled Great Expectation. This is Part 2. I already did Part 1. Go watch it if you haven't watched it so far. Let's meet the other two couples. Let's see. Lauren and Faith. Lauren is 33 years old from Las Vegas. He's a drag queen assistant, and he loves his job. He said he identifies as gynosexual, which means he finds femininity attractive, not necessarily the gender. He said his preference is to date a trans woman, preferable with a penis. So this trans woman should have a penis. So him and a friend go to a lingerie store to buy a corset. I love corsets. I used to do videos on my corsets. I think I'm going to pick that up again. Anyway, the friend that he is shopping with said she has known Lauren for 7 years, and they started out as boyfriend and girlfriend, but it did not work out because Lauren wants boobs and penis. So they are better as just friends. Lauren said at age 7 or 8, he realized that trans women is what he wanted. At that early age, you knew what a trans woman was? Well, I was in a different country, so and that was years ago. That was decades and decades ago. They didn't have trans women back then when I was 7 and 8. But he dated women in order to please his family. He said a few years ago he had a relationship with a trans woman and it fulfilled him. He said a few years ago he wanted to try looking for love overseas. So he downloaded 2 Filipino dating apps and he found Faith. Faith is 30 years old and they've never met in person. They text each other every day. He said in the Philippines, Faith is known as a lady boy. After 4 months, he plans on leaving everything behind and going to the Philippines to be with his lady boy. Lauren's friend, she actually paid for the corset because Lauren told us that Faith doesn't know that he is broke. Lauren said he works at the drag show, he works in a retail back room, and he works in a gift shop, but he still struggles to pay his rent. He said since he cannot survive in America, he plans on going to the Philippines to be with Faith and try to survive there. He said Faith wants to come to America, but he can't afford to support Faith in America. So he's hoping she loves him enough and won't kick him to the curb when she finds out that he's broke and he can't take her to America. He can't bring her to America. Lauren said he is leaving for the Philippines in a week, and if everything goes well, he'll stay in the Philippines forever, ever. He said right now he is couch surfing, and I didn't even know what that was. What is that? I didn't know what that was. That means he's sleeping on anybody's couch. He's homeless, so he's sleeping on any friend's couch, anybody's couch. He said because of his financial situation, he does not have a home. He said he sleeps on anybody's couch that will let him. Anybody that will let him, he'll sleep on their couch. Exes, he doesn't care. He said going to the Philippines is a huge adventure for him. He said he has never been outside of the United States, and he's never flown on a plane before. So then we see him cooking food in the bathroom. And then he starts exercising. And he said he's doing this because he's trying to prepare himself for the humidity in the Philippines. So then he sits down on the tub to eat the food that he cooked. And he had cooked some shrimp. And this fool ate the shrimp without pulling off the legs, the shell, the eyeballs, the vein. He just ate the whole shrimp. Just the whole damn shrimp. Just ate the whole thing. The next day, he goes to visit his drag queen friends. While he's there, he video chats with Faith. And Lauren asks Faith if they are still sleeping in different hotel rooms when he gets to the Philippines. Faith told him yes, because they need to get to know each other. They don't, indigestion. Because they've only been talking for 4 months. And Faith told them that she wants to take things slow. But then Lauren harasses her. He said to her, so I'm coming all the way to the Philippines to be alone? He says, is that what you're saying? Lauren is an ass. He expects sex as soon as he gets there. And they've only been talking online for 4 months. The nerve. I don't like Lauren. He said he is a super sexual person, and he sent her naked pictures of himself. He's too aggressive. He's just too aggressive. So then his drag queen friends talked to Faith on the phone, and they told her that Lauren was online talking to a whole bunch of people, but in the end, he chose her. They were trying to make her feel good, but she felt bad. She didn't like that. She was not happy to hear that news, that he was talking to a whole bunch of people. Faith said, oh my God. Because she didn't know he was talking to a whole bunch of people. So when they got off the phone with Faith, Lauren told the drag queens that Faith is jealous. She's a jealous person. Then he said he is not exclusive, but he thinks Faith is exclusive, and Faith thinks that he is also exclusive. He's a trash person. He's trash. He said he told her that he sleep over at people's house, but he doesn't think she understands what that means. She thinks he's just sleeping over people's house. I thought that too. I didn't know he was messing around with these people, the houses that he was slept. You know what? Yeah, Lauren is not my cup of tea. And he always had that silly smile on his face. What's that all about? Then he said he doesn't want to be in an exclusive relationship even when he gets to the Philippines, because he doesn't believe in monogamy. Next, Lauren is packing to go to the Philippines. He said he will be there for 3 weeks, and if everything goes well, he'll stay there forever. I think he'll be back in less than 3 weeks. He had bought Faith a ring for $50. His friend think that if the relationship with Faith doesn't work, Lauren will be devastated. I don't think Lauren will be devastated. Lauren got enough people that he's messing around with. He won't be devastated if the relationship with Faith doesn't work out. He'll be devastated if Faith don't give him any sex. That's what he'll be devastated about. Anyway, his friend drove him to the airport. And I feel bad for Faith. He has a lot of bombs to drop on poor Faith. He has to tell her that she is not moving to the States. He's not going to bring her back to the States. He has to tell her that he is homeless and broke. And he has to tell her that he wants an open relationship. I hope Faith kick his butt to the curb ASAP. Last but not least, and next up, it's Brian and Ingrid. Brian is 51 years old, from Illinois. He works for a ride-share company, and he loves his job. We find out that Brian has been in a wheelchair for 25 years. He said when he was 27, he was shot in his spinal cord, and that left him a quadriplegic. He was being carjacked, and he tried to prevent himself from being carjacked, and that's when he was shot. He said when he was 19, he married his high school sweetheart, and they had a daughter. He said the marriage lasted 3 years and then they got divorced. He plays wheelchair rugby internationally and he has been to 10 different countries. He said one of the countries that he went to was Brazil and he fell in love with Brazil. I want to go to Brazil. I watched Love is Blind Brazil and Brazil is beautiful. He said he is fluent in Portuguese. Very good. Very good. I'm glad that since he likes that country and he wants to date in that country, he learned the language. He said it's easier to date in Brazil than it is in the U.S. He said he had several relationships in Brazil, but after a lot of breakups, he met Ingrid. Ingrid is 32 years old. She's a single mom. They have been talking for 2 years and they talk daily. In a week, Brian is going to Brazil to meet Ingrid for the very first time. Ingrid knows that he's in a wheelchair, but she doesn't know all he goes through on a daily basis to dress himself and to take care of himself, going to the bathroom or even having sex. Brian said she has never asked him about how he, deal with life, how he gets around in life, being a quadriplegic. He said that he's also worried because she doesn't know much about his past. What about his past? He said that he is worried that things might be too heavy for Ingrid to handle. Next, he goes to play rugby with his team. Afterwards, him and his teammate, they sit around there talking and they're asking him about his trip to Brazil. They asked him if he's going to have sex while he's in Brazil. He said yes, he is. He is planning on having sex when he goes to Brazil. And he said him and Ingrid have not talked about Viagra or any other stuff. What other stuff? I don't know. One of his teammates said he gets an erection, but he doesn't finish. Brian said he does finish, but it comes with a headache. He gets a headache. And then his arms get numb or something like that, he said. So we saw a clip of Brian talking to Ingrid, and he asked her if she told her family about him, and she said no. He asked her if she's ashamed of him, and she said, no, I don't think so. So she don't think so. She don't think she's ashamed of him. Brian said he cannot be with someone who is ashamed of him. So next, Brian is packing to go to Brazil, and he has 2 gifts for her sons. He said she was a single parent. I thought she only had 1 child. She has 2 kids, 2 boys. We didn't know that, but okay. He said the area in Brazil where he is going to, there's no sidewalks and it's dirt roads. So it's going to be hard for him to navigate with his wheelchair. So his daughter drove him to the airport. And we found out that Brian has been married 4 times. 3 Americans and 1 Brazilian. He has had several relationships in Brazil and failed engagements. He said most of the engagements, most of the people that he dealt with were younger than him. And Ingrid is 19 years younger than him. His daughter asked him, why is Ingrid the one? He told her that Ingrid has not asked him for any money. And she has life experience because she has 2 kids. She has life experience because she has 2 kids? No, not necessarily. His daughter doesn't want him to rush into anything and propose to Ingrid because he likes to get married. He just getting married to this person, getting married to that person. He told her to trust him and not to worry, and he'll be okay. Brian said that Ingrid does not know the whole story about how he ended up in a wheelchair. He said his carjacking was not a random event. He said there is a lot more to the story, and I want to hear this story. I want to hear this. Anywho, that was the end of the episode. This is the end of my review. Thank you so very much for watching. Princess on the Pillow here. Bye.